We are also good evening, everyone. I'll just do one thing. I'll just post the link to my Twitter and to my Telegram handle as well, and then we will start. So it's 9 p.m. and it's good to be back here on YouTube. Thank you so much. Good evening. So what do we have? There are a lot of people joining us for starters, of course. So that's good to know. Now I'm trying to see the data file. Uh, there's Yeah, there it is. So, okay. So, this unfinished business that I spoke about, 10,400 is there, right? You could argue about 6 points, but I think that much leeway all of you would give me that, spoke about 10,400 as the unfinished business. I had my conviction even when we had that fall. A lot of people, asked me. I don't get trolled actually. God's been kind. Most of you are kind. 99% of my followers are kind. 1% trolling, but that's okay. Uh, most of you are, you know, love me, respect me, and genuinely think that I do good for you. That's clearly visible. So, when everyone asked me whether 10,400 was still my target, uh, I had mentioned that there is clearly 10,400 which will happen, which is the unfinished business. Now we got that. So what next? I think this market is going through some kind of a melt up phase. I know melt up is the term that we use when the market just runs away from you and doesn't give anyone an opportunity to pay it down. And I think that's what the market is doing right now. Look, it's easier said than done that you should have been in this market and not booked out. I'm not a trader, but if I was a trader, I would have booked out. So I mean, I do not road statements that you should have got in at 9,500 and you should have stayed but till now. I'm sure nobody can do that. It's human tendency to look at booking profit, and after you book profit, you always worry that did you book too soon. That happens. That's why I always tell you one thing that you do is if you trade by option is to buy in multiples of two. So suppose you buy 2,000 calls, you book 1,000, and many of the options or triples or quadruples, and let other 1,000 be carried. Let it become zero also if it. But you know, so now the issue here is that how do you participate if you're missed out? I think that is the bigger question because my emphasis always is to make sure that even if you missed out, you get a good trade going. This morning, despite the market giving you any dip and you buying that, so that would have worked out. Market gave you a second dip towards the end. That was also missing. The market's giving you dips which are nature at times, but they get bought. I think that is clearly something which stands out. I look at the 3 p.m. move today as a shakeout move, which would have shaken out the weak bulls, freeloaders as I call them, right? Who enter, after the horse is bolted. Now the issue for this market is that we are in a parabola kind of a market, and it's quite possible that now we make a move towards a 200-day moving average on the Nifty, which is 10,900. A 200-day moving average on the Bank Nifty, which, if I'm not wrong, let me just check my screen. On my software, the 200-day moving average that I have for the Bank Nifty is 26,777. I know these numbers sound quite ridiculously overstretched, but that's what the markets do. Obviously, it's not going to happen tomorrow. You know what? This expiry, the market's got momentum. The Bank Nifty is up 12% this month. The Nifty is up 7.5% this month. The mid cap index is up over 10% this month. There's momentum in this market. And because the global markets are stable. Look, yesterday, on Friday, Dow was down so much. Still this morning, because Dow future was up, the market latched onto that. So as long as you're stable, I think the market will just perhaps keep going through the roof. Now, how do you participate is the tough question. I think you be a reluctant bull. Uh, Perhaps first hour low as the stop loss, and you try to buy any kind of dip in the market. Very interesting thing has happened today, which is that if you see the F&O data, a lot of long stock future position has been cut by the FIIs, almost 20,000. I think that is one area of the market which is getting perhaps overextended, and I'm not surprised that some profit is being taken there. For example, today's move on Glenmark. Now, you'll remember my Telegram post yesterday. Now, Glenmark is a stock, pharma is a sector that I have been bullish on for last 3 months. You will remember that. In June, I had posted about Glenmark being one of the stocks to watch out for. But did Glenmark deserve to go up 30% today? And you know what? The problem is a lot of you would not have got entry also, because straight away 10% circuit, then 15%, then 20%. Then after that, it cooled off. And that, but who would have entered at that point? When 20% becomes 17%, and when you know it's overstretched, how do you buy? These things are very easy. You can very easily say, okay, Glenmark will rally today. How does that help you? Everyone knows Glenmark will rally today. But how does that help you? The issue is that how do you participate in the stuff? How do you participate in the rally? I think that is more important. And I still maintain that today there was no way to participate in Glenmark. And if you had been long in Glenmark, today the market gave you an opportunity to perhaps exit. It's at best a 60 to 100 crore opportunity, for which the market cap went up by how much today? 2,000 crores or whatever. I think I don't. I haven't checked the number. In fact, much more than that. So yeah, so that's I think something which the market's going through right now. But then this is a market which is going through a melt up phase, and these things happen in a melt up. Look, guys, let's be very clear about this thing. Either the market is pricing in some stunning recovery in the second half, or this is a powerful liquidity driven rally which will suck in a lot of people, and after that have a really bad fall. One of the two will happen. As of now, my money is still on the second. As of now, I don't see any improvement in the economy, which should warrant this kind of market move. But I do not want to preempt any kind of top in the market. As I keep saying, you cannot short. Every day, a lot of people are asking me, can I short? Can I short? Can I short? Even today, a lot of people shorted Glenmark. Now, when I say don't buy Glenmark or don't chase Glenmark, I'm not saying that you short Glenmark. That day, when I said don't chase Muthoot, even though I've been very bullish on Muthoot, it's been one of my stocks to watch, and it's come on my top 10 so many times. When I say don't chase Muthoot, I don't mean short Muthoot. I think perhaps next time I'll make that distinction also very clear. There's a difference between booking profit if you have been long after a 40% move and shorting a stock. You can't short a stock like this. Just like you can't short Reliance. Though I don't talk much on Reliance, because at the end of the day, I get I don't feel good talking about Reliance, because Reliance owns the company, even though it's the largest company and it's the largest stock, and at the end of the day, it's an important stock for the market. I should talk about it, but I try to talk much about it. But what I'm trying to say is that you can't short a stock like Reliance when it's moving up so fast. So now, Nitish, the market will give you opportunities. Don't worry, the market is always there. This is in our mind. This is in our head. Now think about it. Okay, people are saying that I missed buying at 9,000, 9,500. Now imagine, just imagine. Uh, there's an 18-year-old or 20-year-old trader who just entered the market, and he tells you that in 2000 he was not born. He's missed buying at 1,000. Does it make any sense? It doesn't. Right. The question that you have to ask yourself is that if you buy at 10,200, is the market going to 11,000? And are you going to make money in this market? That is important. That is important. Okay, now a lot of you are asking me on Tata Consumer. I think there was some manic buying in last 15 minutes in Tata Consumer. I think something's building up here. I don't know what that is, but there's something definitely building up. So thank you so much. You know what? I'm not able to reply. Uh, as my follower count has increased over the last 6 months or so. In fact, I was just looking at, the my Twitter journey, for example, the first 25,000 followers took me almost 9 years, right? The last 25,000 have come in less than 4 months. And also so many comments on YouTube. I'm not able to reply to all of them. I'm extremely sorry. I know all of you, most of you love me and respect me, and want me to answer your queries, but sometimes it's not possible. So what we will do is this Sunday I'll do a longer session. Sunday I will do a 30-minute session, and we will discuss all your trades and all the stocks that you have on your radar. So global market right now looking quite good. S&P is up, Dow is up, European markets up. Let's see what we have tomorrow. Uh, the Indian market is in a momentum, notwithstanding the last 30-minute decline, and I think that momentum could continue, and we could have good going for the market from here on as well. Sorry, there was one very interesting question that I wanted to take. Uh, how do you PM me? Well, tweet me. Yeah, when there are times when I'm going through the notifications, so I will take those. On Instagram, you can PM me. Uh, so that is also another option that you can do. So okay, everyone, thank you so much. Today I'm keeping a bit short because honestly, there's not much to talk today in terms of data and all. But we will be back tomorrow, and have a good evening, and we will see you in the market. Thank you so much.